Hi guys, my name is Ryan, the Frugal Analyst, and in this video I'm going to show you my mortgage refinance guide. And last week I actually locked in a new rate at 3.4% for my mortgage, 30-year fix with no net fees. So in this video I'll go over how to get the best deal on a mortgage refinance. First thing you need to know is the key factors of a mortgage. Now if you already know all this, you can skip to the next part. But a loan mortgage have these loan characteristics. It starts with the loan type. There's conventional and FHA. I definitely would stick with conventional. FHA have other fees that I'm not interested in dealing with. The interest rate, this is the metric that everybody looks at. Everybody wants the lowest rate. You can gauge the 10-year yield to see if the rate has dropped or increased. The rate type, there's fixed, variable, and a combination, otherwise known as ARM. So for me, I just prefer a fixed rate just so that it's predictable. For the term, there's 15-year, 30-year, and so forth. A shorter duration means that you can get a lower rate and you have a higher minimum payment. And conversely, if you have a longer duration, you'll have a lower minimum payment, but a slightly higher rate. Next, we have the category of origination fees. Origination fees is a part of closing, but I think the most important thing is the lender fee. How much are you really paying your lender to originate the loan? The points. This point is also another form of lender fee. I would definitely recommend asking for a 0-point loan. The appraisal cost, which goes to the appraisal, sometimes this cost can be waived if your property value have gone up. Title and escrow fee, usually these are to protect the lender so that if you didn't pay that, they could basically take your property. So all of these, lender fee, appraisal, and title escrow fee, I would bucket them under origination fee. And the next segment is called lender credit. Now this is money to offset your origination fees. So sometimes, depending on the deal, you can get lender credit if you're willing to take a higher interest rate loan. The last but not least is the lock days. There's 30-day, 45 days, and 60 days. Depending on your situation, you might need more days. For me, I have to use a 45-day because my property signing is slightly more complicated. But if you are local, you're prepared to do all the paperwork really quick, you can just lock on with a 30-day lock rate. Usually the shorter the lock rate, the better deal you can get on your loan. So those are all the key factors that I think we should have a good understanding before refinancing. Next is all about timing. When should you really refinance? Well, to answer this question, we have to think of ourselves like a fixed income trader playing our loan balance in the marketplace. So we have to look at the 10-year yield, and usually mortgage rates correspond 1-to-1, fairly close to the 10-year yield plus a margin. If the yield drop, you can be sure that the mortgage rate also drops. You can find this rate in the treasury.gov or online. I'll have links below at the bottom of this video. So in this 10-year chart, this is when I lock in my mortgage. The 10-year yield is around 1.75%, and I'm getting a 3.4% in my mortgage rate for 30-year fix. That means my margin between the 10-year yield and my rate is around 1.6%. You can see that the rate recently dropped, and that's why I decided to refi my mortgage. So if you see the rate dropping, that's a great time to refinance your mortgage. The next thing is about finding the right lender. So mortgage refinancing or mortgage market in general, it's a very commoditized market. It's such a big market, and there's a lot of players, big players like big banks and also smaller players. I personally prefer the smaller players because usually they have more senior loan advisor versus the big banks. I also got screwed by a big bank due to processing fees, and usually they have more junior guys that would really sell you on their company when all you need is this commoditized mortgage refinancing from them. So ultimately, I end up with a company called Loan Lock. I think they're based in Santa Monica. They're a pretty small company, but I think the key here is to always compare different lenders. Different lenders will have different fees. They have different rates, and see if you like the person that you're going to be working with, because there is a lot of paperwork to do. After you find a list of lenders that you want to work with, the next part is to really negotiate the right deal for your refi. This requires the understanding of the relationship between interest rates, lender fees or origination fees, and lender credit. They are all related. If you want the lowest interest, usually that's what people say, then usually the lender is going to tack on some points and give you no lender credit. So all of these three factors are related. So here I have an example chart where there are three options. Option A is the free refinancing option. This is the option that I prefer. Option B, you have the upfront costs of the origination fee, but you don't have any points. So you'll have to pay the origination fees at closing. Option C, I would call it a ripoff. This is where they tack on points and origination fees without giving you any lender credit. Option C is what they usually sell you on, because the origination fee and points goes directly to the lender. You can get the lowest interest rate in option C, but usually only works if you really think that the interest rate is going to stay low for a very long time, and you're also going to keep the loan for a very long time. So I highly discourage people from getting option C, which is with points and no lender benefit. I would recommend option A, the free option. So option A, it has the highest interest rate, but they give you a lender credit to offset the origination fee. So basically your refinancing cost is free. And that's the loan that I chose, is the one that I don't have to pay anything to reduce my rate. Now, if you're talking to a lender and they only give you one option and that's not the free option, make sure you go back to them and really request the free option, because every lender should be able to give you all of these three options. So to summarize, check the 10-year yield to see where the rates are going. Make sure you compare a lot of different lenders, and especially consider the smaller companies to do the mortgage refinancing. And third, make sure you ask them for the free loan deal, which means lender credit to cover the origination fees and no points on the mortgage refinancing. So if you're ready to talk to a lender, I have some few tips. I think you have to be very straightforward to the lender and tell them what you want in the mortgage refinance. So for example, in my situation, I would tell them that I want a conventional loan with no points, 30-year fix. My credit score is above 740. My loan amount is, let's say, $300,000. My property value is, let's say, $600,000. And I want the lender credit to offset the origination fees. What is your rate? Now, they should be able to give you a general estimate without running a hard inquiry. But if you are ready to shop around and decide that you want to do the deal, I mean, running multiple hard inquiries is okay on your credit. Some company won't give you any high-level number because they're kind of scared of price matching. So shop around, make sure the company is transparent and willing to give you some high-level rates. And after they give you a rate, tell them if you want a better rate, then you say that, hey, can you please call me when the rate drops to XYZ. So make them earn your business. I've dealt with multiple company that wouldn't call me back because they're just a big bank. But I think some of the smaller guys will actually get back to you and let you know if the rate has gone down and get to where you want it to be, and also a no-fee refinance. To give you guys a real life sample, so this is my mortgage refinance that I'm doing right now. So loan type conventional, interest rate 3.375, rate type fix, term 30-year, lock days 45 days. The cost that I have, lender fee, is around $1,300. I got my appraisal waived, and the title escrow fee comes to around $1,400, and I got a lender credit of $2,888. So in total, this is like a free refinance. And I have the details at the bottom of this video with my loan disclosure, and also a sample of my final refinance closing costs that I did in 2017, just so that you guys have a reference. You could download that, and I removed the personal information, but I think you could look at the numbers and see what they are, and what's really the final tally up number. So that's all for my guide to mortgage refinancing. Hopefully this video enables you to refinance your mortgage. I sure took advantage of the drop in the rates last week. So if you do have a mortgage, you might want to consider refinancing the mortgage for a lower rate. It might save you some money. Oh, on a side note, my coworker told me that if you're a Costco member, they have a lender who's willing to give $250 if they can't match your rates. And my coworker actually got the $250 because he went with my lender, Loan Lock, and he actually went to Costco and said that, hey, can you match the rate from Loan Lock, and they can't, and he actually got $250. So if you want to make some money and have a Costco membership, that could be another thing to do. So that's it for this video. Please comment below for any questions and subscribe for more frugal videos.